Jai Hind, my dear students. Today we are going to start a new lecture on computer organization and architecture, and the topic of today's lecture is processor organization, general register organization and stack organization. So, objective of today's lecture is to understand the various organization that are possible in computer CPU implementation for the purpose of implementation of a computing device or the processor. In past, these organizations have been implemented for the purpose of efficient execution of machine, and every organization has their own objectivity for the implementation and for users and application that we will discuss today. Okay, let us proceed. So, first organization that we are going to learn is general register organization. Why it is called as general register organization? Because of it contains general purpose registers. Here particularly the 7 registers are used, and it can take one input from outside the CPU. So, 7 registers plus one input from the outside the CPU. It takes 2 multiplexer with selection line of 3 bit, so that it can take 8 inputs and generate one output of the multiplexer. The purpose of using this multiplexer is to select a particular input either from the register or from input outside the CPU for delegation to be given to ALU. So, depending on the selection line, selection A, selection B, this 2 multiplexer 1 and multiplexer 2 selects input A and input B. So, in this way we can understand that how this input can be moved to the arithmetic and logic unit for processing of data that is stored temporarily in this register. So, the 3 bit combination of selection line A and selection line B can select 8 inputs. So, 7 inputs are from the general registers that are available in general register organization, and one input, that is the 8th input, is coming from the outside the CPU. So, you can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8th input for the multiplexer. Now, when some data which is stored in some register, say for example, 6 is taken from here and R3 contains 7. So, depending on selection of register R1 by a multiplexer, it will send data 6 to arithmetic and logic unit, and this multiplexer 2 when selects R3, it will generate send output 7 to the multiplexer. So, to the ALU. So, 6 and 7 is available for ALU to process. So, we can see here the ALU is connected to 5 bit operation selection line. So, this 5 bit operation selection line basically tells the ALU which operation to be performed. So, what will happen? 2 raised to power 5, that is 32 operations are possible with this ALU. So, depending upon the operation selected, it will perform operation on register R1 content and register R3 content, that is 6 and 7. So, it will generate some output. Say for example, add operation is selected. Okay, so, add operation is doing R1 comma R3. So, what is happening? The content of register R1 is added with content of register R3, and the result is stored back into register R1. So, now this is very important thing, that multiplexer only gives the input R1 and R3, but this instruction in architectural representation says abstraction that the result is stored in R1. So, certainly this output will be stored back somewhere in this general purpose register. Okay. So, in general purpose register, which register will store the result will be determined by this decoder circuit. So, we can see here there is 3:8 decoder to select the output line of the output of ALU. So, it can send the data to one of the 7 register depending upon the decoder output. So, 3 input to the decoder. So, 3:8 outputs are possible. So, since there are 7 registers, so out of this 8 only 7 will be addressed using this decoder to address the register. So, if this selection line selects input R1, output R1, because when it is decoded through control unit, the content of this ALU will move to the register R1 through this decoder. So, in this way simply we can perform lots many operation one by one using the selection line A, B and the output line selection D and the operation bit, which operation that we have to perform. So, let us see further. The control must provide a binary selection variable for the selection of input. So, that is what it is saying, that the multiplexer is basically delegated to show the control. Okay. So, here it is explained, mux A will select it by selection line A to place the content of here particularly R2 register into A, and mux B will select using selection line B to place the content of R3 into bus B to the ALU. So, operation bit will tell what to perform. So, here it is telling that the arithmetic operation is to be performed, and finally, the decoder selection line select D transfers the content of the output to bus into R1. So, this particular instruction is basically add R1, R2 and R3. So, this is a 3 address instruction, as I have already given in previous one. Add R1, R2, R1, R3 means that is a 2 instruction, 2 address instruction. So, this is a 3 address instruction to work upon on this particular machine. Now, based on this, we can create a symbolic table which has all the description of what particular operation that can be performed. Okay. So, this table basically stores combinations of all the selection line input, selection line input B, selection line input D, the output D and operation. So, here particularly if you see R2, R3 are the inputs, and the selection line R1 is saying that it is output, and the operation that is performed is sub. Okay. So, 1 0 basically gives that it is a register 3, and 0 0 1 indicates it is a register 1, and 0 1 indicates it is a register 1, that is output. So, this is R2, this is R3 and this is R1. Okay. And finally, the 0 0 1 0 1 indicates it is a subtraction operation. So, we can create a table. This table is basically representing a abstraction of computer that what operation it can perform. So, it basically represent the instruction set of this particular regional register organization. That is why instruction set architecture is basically mentioned here, which basically tells what particular operation can be performed in this general register organization. So, likewise, depending upon the operation, and there will be corresponding inputs to be selected. So, like say for example, I and C A. To increment A, will select input from selection line A, that is R6, and it will increment it by 1. So, R6 will be now R6 plus 1. So, they can have both logical operation as well as arithmetic operations. So, we can see here this is a arithmetic operation, this is a logical operation, this is arithmetic operation, and so on. So, in this way this general register organization computer works. Now, fundamentally if you see this particular organization, what we are doing, we are basically putting input in the registers, then processing it in the ALU through selection of inputs through multiplexer, and finally the output is sent to the decoder, selection of decoder line to the back to the registers. So, this whole operation is one step micro operation that will happen within a functional unit ALU. Okay. So, let us proceed further to understand in detail about the other organization. The next organization is stack organization. Now, in stack organization, this stack organization is stack organization within the register, that is not in the memory. So, it should be noted, not in the memory. We are not talking about the memory stack. Okay, we are talking about the register that is available in the stack that is available in the register. So, we can create a separate register which is represented like this, and there are some set of register from 0 to 63, the total 64 registers are available, and their address is 0 to 63. So, there are some additional register in stack organization that is used to process the content of stack, and they are full, empty, stack pointer, and the DR, that is the data register. Okay. So, there are two operations are possible in this particular stack organization. One is push operation, other is pop operation. So, what is push operation? Push operation means we have to push data here into the stack. Okay. So, basically if you simply want to understand what is stack, stack is a memory representation like a bag which can put data from the top and can take data from the top. Okay. It cannot take any data below top. So, considering this requirement, so when we want to push some data into this stack, first operation that we have to perform is to increase the stack pointer. So, this content when we do SP plus 1, this pointer will point here because the last data is available at this location. So, first we have to increase the stack size, then the data available in the DR register is put in the memory location pointed by stack pointer. Okay. So, first we increment the stack pointer, then write item on the top of the stack. Now, after that we have to check the condition whether the stack is full. So, if SP equal to 0, then set full equals to 1. So, it indicates that full means stack is full. After we have put some data and stack pointer has reached to some location. Okay. So, it will tell that stack is full, and if it is not correct, then we will mark that empty is equals to 0. Okay. So, basically we say that stack is available for filling. Now, we have put the data, now we want to remove it. So, before pop means we remove data. So, we have to remove data, then we have to first read the item from the top of the stack. So, memory location pointed by stack pointer, data will go to this DR register. Okay. So, whatever the content pointed by this will go to this location. Okay, so then what we will do, and certainly our data is being removed, okay, from the top of the stack. So what we have to do, then we have to reduce the stack pointer address to one level below. So it is removed, so this will now point to this location. Okay, so then again we will check if SP is 0, then we will put empty is equals to 1, means that we have reached to this location, so stack is empty, otherwise mark stack is not full. So in this way we can put data into the stack and we can remove data from the stack using push operation and the pop operation. Now we must think about that how this is used for purpose of this stack organization. So we will see the description and uses of this stack organization in the next slide. Okay, so before we move the uses, same stack organization can be implemented in the memory. So here particularly the data is not stored in the registers of CPU. We allocate a separate memory space, okay, and this memory space is basically divided into three parts. One is a stack, another is data, another is program part. So this particular area, which is considered to be stack memory, it has a memory location from 3000 to 4001. So around 1000 stack elements can be stored here. Now what is the difference between the previous one and this one? Very important difference is that there are 1000 stack units can be stored here, but in stack organization register base there is a limitation that are only few memory elements available in register based organization. So if we see the purpose here to switch to the memory is that usually the stack organization is used in two operations that is well known. One is function call operation, that is recursive function call. So we have to take care about the previous location where we have started. So function call will be used here, and there are some operations that is called as conversion operation, okay, where we convert our operation to some notion of infix to postfix. So what is happening here, main purpose of this is for functional requirement of recursive call, because usually the recursive call is of deep depth. So for example we are calling function 100 units of time. So since there is lots many space available, so 100 times a function can be recursively called and their position can be stored here in the stack. So conversion can be done in the register itself because it is of small size stack, and functional requirement to do the recursive call can be fulfilled in the memory based stack organization. Now the same operation is performed here also to push and to pop operation, that is we first reduce the stack pointer to do this, because since it is inverted, so we have to reduce it, and to pop operation we will increment the stack pointer, okay. So in this way the memory based stack organization can also be implemented. So we should understand the difference between the register and the memory based stack organization and their uses. Okay, let's proceed further to understand the uses and application. So what they are saying, that stack is of limited size, that I have already told you. So you can see here the microcomputers do not provide hardware to check the stack overflow or stack underflow, empty stack. The stack limit can be checked by using processor registers, one to hold upper limit 3000, other to hold the lower limit 4001 in this case. After the push operation, SP is compared with the upper limit register, and after pop, SP is compared with the lower limit register. So, in this way we can take care of the stack whether it is full or empty using the upper limit and the lower limit, and microcomputer hardware has this particular overflow and underflow checking registers. So, the uses that we have discussed previously is one use is reverse polish notion. So, we have this particular statement that we write to execute in our computer that cannot be executed by this direct execution of this particular arithmetic operation or expression. So, we need to convert this into the another notion. Okay. The common arithmetic expression is written in infix notion with each operator written in between. So, like here it is infix notion. So, A into B. So, the operator is in between A and B, that is why it is called infix notion, and we cannot perform the operation using this infix notion. So, we have to convert into reverse polish notion. So, if we see uses point of view, it is not mentioning that it is a register based base or memory base. So, if you have a stack, we can use to convert this infix notion into the prefix or polish notion. Okay. So, what is the reverse polish notion? It is a form suitable for stack manipulation, because if it is available in this form, it can be processed using stack. How? When we have this type of representation, we can scan from left to right and put the data into the element into the stack and identify what to perform. So, here particularly you can see with this example. Okay. So, evaluation of arithmetic expression is one of the fundamental requirement in computer to solve a particular expression. So, we first have to convert that into parenthesis free notion. So, reverse polish notion we have to convert it, then we will use it for arithmetic evaluation. So, this is infix notion, and infix notion is converted into reverse polish notion, and when we have this reverse polish notion available, the stack organization can help us to solve it very easily, and you can see this pictorially. So, when we have first scanning is done from here, so 3 is put here, that is we have push it, then we have put 4 here, then as soon as it encounter any operation, what that will do, it will take the last 2 inputs 4 and 3 and perform the operation multiplying, and it will store it into the stack. Okay. Then it will scan next element in the reverse polish notion, then 5 is put here, then 6 is put here, then it encounter again operation. So, it will perform multiply operation over 5 and 6, and it will store 30 here, and finally, it will encounter plus. So, it will perform plus operation over 30 and 12, and finally, it will store the 42. Now, important thing is that there will be certain operation to be performed when some operator is found during the scanning, and when there is no operator, it will push it until a operator is found. When operator is found, it will operate on the stack content available and store the result back into the stack. So, this is how the stack operation perform the evaluation of arithmetic expression if the polish notion is available to us, and very easy to do that. Now, so dear students, we have discussed about the various organization of computer architecture which is available for processing, and we can do the uses of an application of these computer organizations for various purpose. Thank you and Jai Hind.